Everybody who hasn't bought the book yet, Dale just doubled their price.
I'm going to be lynched at the next Evan Carmichael meetup.
Right? I've never heard that in my life.
This right here is going to blow your mind.
I'm dreaming, oh, I believe in this dream I've been dreaming, oh, I'm dreaming, oh, I believe in this dream I've been dreaming, oh.
What's up, Believe Nation? Welcome back to another video. I'm excited here. This is going to be an interesting one for me. I've got a friend of mine, Dale Roberts. We met at, was it Vid Summit?
Yeah, we had, you and I have passed each other in numerous occasions on various conferences.
He's in the YouTube world, I'm in the YouTube world, and he said, hey, Evan, I want to help you sell more books. And I thought, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's talk. And we decided, hey, once I'm back from my tour, we'll hop on a Zoom call, and he's going to give me some coaching and consulting and ideas on how to take one of my self-published books and turn it into a bigger success. Dale, maybe super quick, just intro who you are, your business, and people want to learn more about you, what you're all about.
Well, I'm Dale L. Roberts. I am an experienced indie author as well as a self-publishing expert. I've been at this business for about roughly 5 years. And when I say that I obsess over something, that's only putting it mildly. This is something that I live, breathe, eat, sleep. I enjoy the whole process of self-publishing, especially the modern day model. And to me, I think that this is just a lucrative opportunity for anybody that's managing or running a business, because as you're going to kind of see, and the avenue we're going to explore today, you can essentially have assets out there that work as free advertising that's going to end up paying you. Yeah, that's right. Have you ever just run ads and it gives you money instead of losing it? Here's an instance.
This is it. So Dale's going to use his expertise. We're going to look at this book that I self-published, Top 10 Rules of Success. I looked at 40 different people who we've done top 10 videos on, the 40 most popular people, and condensed it into one book. And Dale says he's going to crush my numbers. So what am I doing wrong, Dale? And how do I fix it?
Well, there's many things you're doing right. And I'm going to make sure that we kind of highlight those things, because sometimes if people are watching this, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, why is he being so mean to Evan? There are things that you're nailing. And I think that it's important that we kind of highlight that.
You're already way nicer than most of the people I have on, Dale. People are
yes,
my butt kicked. So
yes. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so that way we can you can see what's going on my end here. So we're on the top 10 rules for success right out the gate. I'm just going to start it out right away. Your subtitle. This is just kind of a nitpicky thing. Your subtitle shouldn't be a sentence. It should be a title. So essentially, you got it right in Rules to Titans, Billionaires, and Leaders Who Changed the World. Think about when you're putting this is going to be a title. So it shouldn't be a sentence. So remove the period, capitalize succeed, capitalize be for business, life, so on and so forth. Excellent choice, by the way. I can tell that you're used to using keywords within titles. All right. So the very next thing, cover. Awesome. This right away, as soon as I see this says Evan Carmichael to me. That's one of the nice things. If you're doing any kind of brand, make sure it locks in with what you're currently doing. So that way, if your fans happen to be looking up, or your followers are looking up your information and they see this book, there's no question in their mind that they want to get this.
There's a little Easter egg on the cover where somebody pointed it out to me, but it's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Huh. I am missing it altogether. You're going to have to tell me.
I'll give you a hint. It's around Steve Jobs.
Yeah, I'm missing it. Are you going to tell me, or is this going to be one of those things you're going to leave me hanging?
Somebody messaged me, or maybe they even left a review. They say, I love the book, but why did you give Steve Jobs a mohawk?
Oh my gosh.
Like, what? And then I went to go look at the book, and like, yeah. On the cover there's a better, like the graphic one here, you can kind of see the difference in shade from his hair to the negative space, but
yeah,
on the printed version, it's basically the same color, and it looks like Steve Jobs has a mohawk.
That is tremendous. Yeah, good eye on their part, man. I would have missed that altogether. I'm going to kind of keep going down and hit everything in order. I'm not going to attack the price point. This is an excellent price point. In fact, if there was anything I would really recommend is if this took any amount of time and resources for you, $14.79 might be at the cheaper end of things.
For paperback?
Yeah, for paperback. And I understand this is self-published, and there's going to be some people that are vehemently against what I'm about ready to say is increase that, because look at your market, look at your niche, and study the people that are within that particular niche. What are they pricing it at? What would it be priced at if they were to, say, for instance, go to a Barnes & Noble or any other brick and mortar store? So to me, a $14.79 is not bad. I would say that get it closer to, say, something like $20, if not $30. The reason why I'm going to say this is you can really get a higher price point if you dial in your ad copy. And when I say ad copy, by the way, it's more in reference to your book description. And that's really, at the end of the day, the thing next to the cover that can make or break the success of your book.
Okay.
So
what am I charging? What do you want to put on there?
To me, I think a good price point for something like this, because it's a thick book. I would think for $14.79, I'm going to get a smaller book, something that's a little thinner. Okay. I'll be able to read in an hour or two. That looks like I'm going to read in about 2 to 3 hours if I were to speed read it.
It's 284 pages.
Yeah, so it's going to probably be, and this is what I recommend, study your niche, but right off the top of my head, I'm looking at this, and this would probably be closer to, like, say, $29.99.
29. It's happening. You heard it. Everybody who hasn't bought the book yet, Dale just doubled our price.
Yep. You guys better get on it now.
Okay, $29.95. And listen, this also allows room for margin for advertising, right?
Absolutely. That's it. You have a little bit more wiggle room, and it's all about perceived value. If you're pricing your books really low and someone's looking around and they see this and they're like, and they see another, say, top 10 rules for success. I don't know if there's another one. They're going to probably look at the other one and go, well, this one's probably going to make me more successful. I better go ahead and spend money on this one. Perceived value is huge. Now, if you don't get the ad copy right, that's where you're going to lose big time. So let's get on down here into the actual ad copy. I've already exposed most of this. A little bit of a tip to everybody is always make sure that you lead with a great hook, something that's going to bring people in. You have 5 to 6 lines. In this instance, it's about 6 lines to say what you can to get their attention, hit the read more. So they drop it on down. Right away, I'm going to say this, Evan, is it's a wall of text. A lot of people are going to be tuning out. We have only just seconds to grab their attention. When you have that much work in front of them, unless they're one of your faithful followers or viewers, they're going to deuce out. They're going to say, that's too much. I'm just going to go ahead and look at something different. So started out with something like a hook, and the hook's going to be, say, 5 to 6 words that describes what your audience's pain point is or how your solution is to their pain point. I'm just going to throw out something generically speaking. It could be learn the best rules for success, period, and then continue on. And really, you want to get it to where you're enticing them. And you're not just going to say, well, there's this person and this person and this person in this book. Tell me exactly what do I stand to gain if I part ways with my $30 to get this paperback book. So wall of text is something that a lot of people do. And as I point one finger forward, there's 3 pointed back at me. Really, really, really good book. And I really highly recommend you check it out, Evan, is by a gentleman named Brian Meeks. It's called Mastering Amazon Descriptions. And the nice thing about this book is he has numerous case studies within there about doing Amazon descriptions and dialing in your ad copy. His belief is don't just bargain basement your books. You want to make sure it's up there. You get paid for your value, and you're going to want to make sure that ad copy is good to go.
So I got a couple of questions.
Sure.
You're sharing the screen. I look at the bookmarks at the top, and it's all like Amazon and book links, and like you can tell that Dale lives this thing. All his daily bookmarks are all these book writing resources. Is great. What does that mean? I have one thing pointing at me and 3 the other way. What is that?
Oh,
Is that
you've
an
never heard that
expression?
phrase?
No.
Yeah, yeah. When I point one finger at you, there's three pointed back at me. I'm just as guilty. In other words, if not more so.
Ah, I've never heard that. When I point one finger at you, there's three pointed back at me. That makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yep, yep. Yeah, you're the
So,
first person that's ever said that. I learned that one from my old boss. He used to say that where he was just like, before you come attack me, understand this. As I'm pointing my finger at you, I'm pointing it at me too. I'm just as guilty.
where was he from?
This was out in Phoenix, Arizona, but he was a very
Okay,
world-traveled gentleman.
I've never heard that in my life. So
Wow, a first.
I'm
I
learning
love
lots
that.
from Dale today. I'm learning new phrases. This is great. Okay, so what do you suggest? So for the first sentence, it needs to be just 5 words, dot dot dot, and then the rest of it, is it like one sentence at a time? Is its own little paragraph, or what are we doing?
Bite-sized pieces. Think of it just like you would see ad copy on a landing page of a website. You don't want to have a gigantic block paragraph because it's too much to consume. The whole point of when somebody lands on your website is to get them from here down to here without too much strife. So it's very similar to kind of breaking up your content, like say on a blog. You don't want to have these gigantic paragraphs because there's going to be a ton of attrition. A lot of people are going to be falling off. And especially so since a lot of people are probably going to be ordering your book via mobile and they're going to be going, that's just too much. They're just going to deuce out.
I wrote down the Brian Meeks book, but I got Dale Roberts in the house right now, the master. How is the rest of the copy? Is it good? Does it suck? Should I add more? Take away? What do you think?
I like it in that you have great high ticket keywords. For instance, Steve Jobs, Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey. Those three names are very big in that it's going to draw more eyes on there.
Okay.
What I don't see is a bit more long tail keywords. What is this book going to do for me? Am I going to discover how to become more successful for this? Am I going to get the secrets to their success? That's really, and I'd have to sit down and actually break this apart. I think that one of the things that will help you out right now, without changing any of your ad copy, break up the block text, put in a hook, and then last but not least, always, always, always finish with a call to action. Think of it like the late night infomercials. I wouldn't have bought those Ginsu knives if they didn't tell me, call in and buy yours now and we'll get you this free gift.
Right.
Obviously, you're not going to be doing something like that.
You did that voice very well, Dale.
I was a voiceover in another life. But you're going to say, get it now, buy it now, order your copy now, so on and so forth. Keep it simple. I used to go crazy on my call to action. Like, if you want to become more successful, then scroll up and click that buy button now. No, just condense it down. Buy it now, get it now. Because the thing is people are going to land on it. Let's just assume they've read through all of your ad copy and they get to the bottom. Sometimes people are like, oh, that looks cool. They move on. That buy it now is that gentle nudge of, hey, you probably should get this. I've already got you all hyped up. Get it. And so that really helps out. I learned this little trick from Steve Scott, really big in the self-publishing industry. And he said, you have to give those browsing customers that little gentle nudge of, hey, order my book, or otherwise they're going to go, maybe I don't need it after all. So your hook and for sure your call to action on something like this. And when it comes to keywords, this is kind of like what you and I do for YouTube in that we want to put keywords in here, but tastefully and organically work it in there. So think of your book description much like a YouTube video description. You want to get it to where you're telling people, enticing them to watch that video and also making yourself a bit more discoverable.
Now I'm thinking, okay, how do I apply this? Is this long enough as a description? Should I add more?
This is not too bad. Nonfiction books, you have a lot more wiggle room. Fiction, you want to make them a little bit shorter, but for nonfiction, for sure, think of it, like I said, ad copy. You're really wanting to bring people in there. So I wouldn't say long form. You're not wanting to do like 5,000 words to try to entice them for your book. Possibly twice as long as this it depends. I would say no longer than probably, it's tough to say. You're going to end up scrolling down about this far until I otherwise see what your ad copy would look like.
Okay.
We can do it that way. So here, let's do this. I'm gonna pull out one of my handy dandy tools.
There it is.
Dave Chesson's Kindlepreneur, really fantastic guy. You should definitely check his stuff out. Let's just drop your description on in here, and we're just going to break it up. Oh, second tip, or third tip probably by now. I'm not really sure where we're at. When it comes to your book description, you did a great job. Don't get me wrong, okay? HTML for the win. HTML is a specific type of coding that will make your stuff pop up off the top of the page.
Yep.
So with this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop it in here. And I'm going to end up showing you exactly what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. So we're just going to break it up.
I didn't know you could put, so you're just doing every sentence basically is a new line.
Yep. And there's going to be some instances like if it's too short of a sentence and it groups together well with another one, you can go ahead and toss it in there. But for the sake of brevity, we're just going to go ahead and just break all these things up.
I didn't know you could do HTML in the description.
Yes.
And font size.
It's going to change your life.
Change my life.
Yes, this is something I always try to suggest to a lot of authors is to make yourself stand out from the pack. Use HTML, and you don't need to know code. All you need to do is either know me or Dave Chesson for that matter. So 10, no, we're going to do the number 10 success tips from the best. There we go. I'm just going to highlight this. I'm going to make it bold. We're going to go ahead and make it big. So that way it really grabs people's attention. For decades, we're just going to make this just a little bit larger, and why not? Let's just italicize it because we're going buck wild. Here's the really cool thing, man. You're going to hit generate code.
Yeah.
You're going to select that entire code, and then you'll go into your Amazon KDP dashboard where you have this uploaded, and you can slip that right on in there, and it'll propagate and it'll feed out. I would say it usually takes about 24 to 72 hours for it to actually show up on Amazon's websites.
Great. Amazing.
All right. So that's HTML is something powerful. By the way, kudos. That's the next thing.
Okay.
I want to tell you is you have Author Central set up for Evan Carmichael. I love this. I try to tell people so much that if you've got an author brand, use Author Central. Amazon Author Central is a way to actually further index your content. And you took advantage of that by, first of all, your pretty mug there. And then you have a short bio saying what people can kind of come to expect of you. You have author updates, your blog posts, pictures. This is really a brilliant resource, and not enough indie authors are utilizing it. So this right here, big banana sticker, my friend. So
big banana sticker?
Yep, you got a banana sticker. It's validation. It's kind of like a gold star, but it's 10 gold stars.
Is that from like grade school? You get a banana sticker?
You totally get a banana sticker. See, you thought I did. I'm not bluffing, man. I'm sending it on up there.
You actually have a banana. Wait, is that Dale Roberts branding, or is banana sticker actually a thing?
It's yeah, it is a Dale Roberts thing.
Nice, dude. I love it, man. I'm excited for my banana sticker.
Yes. All right. So we've got a lot of this stuff picked apart. I'm going to keep scrolling down so that way we can kind of keep our talk a little bit dialed in. Yeah. All right. So here's a little bit of a cool little tool. It's called Frequently Bought Together, and there's also something that's called Also Bots. I'm going to get to Also Bots in just a second because they function somewhat the same. Here, we see that Frequently Bought Together is the top 10 rules for success. Your one word, by the way. Kelly just brought that home from the library today. And 254 confidence. So this shows that people are typically buying these all together. Awesome. So that means that you've got some people going on here that are bulk buying your content. Sometimes, though, you might find from time to time a different book that's not even yours. So for instance, I have the 90-day home workout plan. There's another book that's thrown into it. I think it's called 100 Easy Workouts or something like that. And those are frequently bought together. So let's just say, Evan, that later on down the line, you're going, I want to publish another book inside my brand. This is one of the ways that you can scope out what your audience is wanting from you. So as a, for instance, probably one of the best ideas would be for me to put out a 100 easy workouts, because it's clear that the buying audience wants to buy those two things together. That's a little bit of a rabbit trail. It's not so much of a criticism. I just wanted to kind of bring it to your attention that if you start to move forward, you can see what you're successful on it. And kind of draw a parallel for you where we have YouTube. When we find one video works really, really well and it's bringing in tons of traffic and people are engaging and there's a ton of views on it and watch time, do it again. Get something else and branch off of that. So as a, for instance, you can see that these things are doing really, really well together. So what's another way that you can kind of branch off of that?
And if it's somebody else's book, is the suggestion like, what's down below? If Think and Grow Rich is frequently bought together with this one, then is it, hey, can I come up with Think and Grow Rich Evan's take? Like, is that
right? Yeah, you don't want to directly lift off of your competition, so you don't want to go over and just say make the same exact title, but think about the actual content within inside the pages. So for me, I wouldn't title mine 100 Easy Workouts because I'm not sure if that was what
the 10X Rule by Evan Carmichael.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to take Grant's title. I got it. Okay,
maybe.
It just gives you content ideas for what people are interested in.
Right, correct. All right, so the next thing is our other way to kind of spy things out is the also bots. Oh, look at this. That's beautiful. It looks like you actually fixed it. This is all broken up. So this is excellent. Yeah, this is a great.
So it's broken up for Kindle, but it's not for the regular?
Nope, apparently not. Apparently not.
All right. Good to know. I didn't even know there were two different descriptions.
You know, let me just scroll down and let me look. Do you remember where you had originally uploaded your print content through? Which distribution platform?
I want to say it was through CreateSpace. It then got merged with KDP.
You exactly. It further cemented because CreateSpace sometimes had wonkiness. In fact, you had to use a completely different HTML system if you wanted to use it. You could take that same description, copy and paste it over to CreateSpace. The problem was they always went like this. They would crunch together. If you had bullet points all set out from your description from KDP over on CreateSpace, they scrunched it together. So, and since they just merged back in, the official merge was done in December this past year, there's still some authors, and I know I'm still having to go through quite a few titles and actually fix them because there's that jumbled mess.
Got it. So maybe I did have HTML in my description.
With this one, probably not. You probably just took, sorry to confuse you. You probably just, and I'm not sure if you had a staff member or you did it yourself, but you probably just copied and then pasted it over into CreateSpace, and then it forces it together. If you had issues with the HTML, though, you were using it inside CreateSpace, it would probably reject it because it was such a very basic coding for HTML. If you tried to put KDP into there, CreateSpace was like, it would start freezing up. It just didn't understand it. All right, so I was going to tell you about also bots. Also bots, go figure. This is one of the times that also bots is not showing up. And right now, Amazon's trying and split testing also bots. Essentially, it works just like the frequently bought together in that you can actually have an entire row of not just the customers who also viewed this item. It would say customers who bought this also bought, and you would see additional titles. So that was another way to kind of like a ninja tactic that you can kind of see what was your audience's buying pattern. It's really an awesome tool, but go figure, this is one of the times that Amazon said, we're not giving you also bought today because you're doing an interview with somebody important.
Come on, Amazon.
Get with the program.
They know one day of releasing all the secrets.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, scrolling on down here, I'm just looking at your metadata. All right, here's where it gets a little bit fun. All right. Okay. I like the fact that you own your own ISBN. Kudos. Again, you get another banana sticker. We're up to 2. ISBNs are so important, and this can also get it to where you're able to approach brick and mortar stores with less of a pushback. There are some free ISBNs you can get through Amazon, but it has its limitations. For some reason, some brick and mortar stores don't like Amazon. I don't know why.
Right?
So in any event, you've equipped yourself with an ISBN, and this right here is big. And on top of that, rather than it saying independently published, it has your name. And again, Evan Carmichael gets indexed furthermore over into Amazon. So that's really, really awesome.
I'm actually not that smart, Dale. I'm Canadian, and the regular way wouldn't work for me because the Canadians have to do it a different way. So I had to go through the government of Canada, and it's actually free to get your own ISBNs through the government of Canada.
Yes. I am mildly jealous. I just want to say I've said it in a few videos before where it's you get it free. But yeah, if you're in Canada, folks, there are other regions throughout the world too that you can get free ISBNs.
I think I messed up on another book though because I put it as Government of Canada. It says, "Where did you get your ISBN from?" So I said Government of Canada. So that's the publisher is Government of Canada. Anyway,
oh man.
Lessons learned when you're setting up your books, guys. Don't put the government as the publisher.
Okay, here we go. This is where I see a little bit of an issue, and I can't tell you without looking behind your dashboard. But I'm going to say this right away. You probably selected the 2 categories, or in this instance, since this is the paperback version, you only could get 1 inside the category. Fun fact, you are allowed to have up to 10 categories per book. Now, should you use all 10 categories remains to be seen, but I always recommend that you do your due diligence. You got to go through, research, find other books within your niche. So let's say, for instance, what the heck? We're going to go ahead and choose Alex Becker's. I didn't know he had a book out. You could scroll down here and you can take a look at, oh, here we go. He's taking advantage of all of them. These are additional categories that may be relevant to your title or your publication. Okay. What I would do is collect a list of those. And once when you get about 8 to 10, no more than 10, because you can choose 2, by the way, inside your dashboard, then you can ask them through your KDP dashboard, through the Contact Us feature. You get a hold of them, you tell them what the ISBN is or the ASIN of your ebook, and you let them know, I need these categories added to my book. Now, you're probably saying, Dale, why so many categories? This is other windows of opportunity that other people can, first of all, find you. Yeah. And also, it's another way that they showcase you. So in the event that you start to break into the upper echelon of, like, say, the top 20 bestsellers list, then you're really going to start to grease the wheels of the Amazon algorithm. They're going to start to sell more of that, and it's going to push you up even higher. So categories are definitely something you're going to want to shoot for. Again, you're going to want to make sure that you go into your dashboard, I'd say first, Evan, since you only have 1 category here. Probably since the merge, since it was moved over to your KDP account, you're going to need to go in there and select an additional browse path. And then go into the Contact Us after you've found some of the categories and send them those requests. I've got full videos on this, and we could probably spend a whole hour me showing you how to find them and getting it to where we get you set up.
It's crazy that you have to contact them to get the extra.
Correct. Yeah. And Amazon, this whole Kindle Direct Publishing business is still in its infancy. It only just started in 2008. So there are going to be some things that there are some people that work the system. Shocking, right? So what they'll do is they'll go find a very non-competitive niche. Let's just say, for instance, I've got a Werebear Shapeshifter fiction book, and then I see that it's not very competitive in a children's book of some sort. And this happens, by the way. A lot of people are like, oh, how dare. No, I'm not saying I do that. There are people that will. So they'll see that it's not very competitive. They'll throw themselves into that category because they know it's going to grease the wheels of the algorithm and get them more exposure. But the problem is they're miscategorizing themselves in order to try to gain favor of the algorithm. Right. Dumb idea. Because eventually those people, that loophole is going to be closed up. So I would just really recommend that you stick with categories that are relevant to your brand. Believe it or not, I think at one point or another, Tom Corson Knowles said there was nearly 19,000, this has been a few years ago, 19,000 different categories on Amazon. Crazy, right? So you'll find 10 if you just take your time and really research. If you look at it and go, I don't know if my book fits there, then it probably doesn't fit there. Let's go down here to your Kindle one. Okay, so you've got the 3 browse paths, but right now, as I can see, it's the 2 that you selected in your dashboard. There's an additional one. They will typically throw that in based on your keywords and commonly bought together books. So with this particular one, small business and entrepreneurship books, believe it or not, that's actually a print category. They automate that. They throw that on automatically. I know, why don't they do all 10? But neither here nor there. So if you go through and you're adding categories later on, Evan, I would recommend that you say, please remove small business and entrepreneurship books and add these ones, because you're going to want to have Kindle related categories, because the categories for your ebook are way different than the ones for the categories for the print book. But this looks really, really good. I think that at a rank of 238,000 is not too bad. That's probably going to drop down below 100,000 if you start to put some of these best practices into play. Generally speaking, that's the happy place. If you can get it below 100,000, because you're going to be a bit more discoverable, you're going to be served up in different emails from Amazon over to browsing customers that like might have bought something that was similar to yours. You're going to be served up in numerous ways. Get it down there. Ideally, if you can get it to right about, say, 6 to 12 ebook sales per day, you're going to probably see your rank right about 30,000 to about 50,000. Nice other little tool too, by the way. Let me see here. Can I find it? Will I find it? I don't know. He has one on his website to where you can actually figure out, based on your rank, how many books you need to sell within a specific day.
Okay.
Again, same thing for print books. If you can get that sweet spot below 100,000, that's another thing. Great number of customer reviews, by the way. Bravo.
Okay.
I would recommend that any opportunity that you can, just you've got some followers, maybe you're sending out some emails every now and then, just mention just very nicely, hey, if you happen to have picked up a copy of the top 10 rules for success, it'd be awesome if you'd leave an honest review over on my page. Okay. It makes a huge difference. Don't incentivize them. Don't be like, if you leave a review and let me know, I'll send you a banana sticker. Amazon gets a little bit salty about that.
Those banana stickers.
Yeah, it's the third time. I promise we're not pushing that joke anymore.
No, I like it. The people want the banana sticker. They would do it. They would leave a 5-star review just for the banana sticker.
The banana sticker, yeah. Well, fun fact, there was actually a romance author that got pinched last year for rewarding his email followers that would leave a review with a chance to win diamonds. Not kidding.
Okay.
Not kidding. He was incentivizing them. And for some reason, other indie authors got really mad about that, and so did Amazon. And he no longer publishes on Amazon, last I knew it.
Got it.
I think it was Tiffany's Diamonds. Does that sound like a brand?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't incentivize, just a gentle, you don't want to coerce anybody. You don't want to tell them, if you enjoyed my book, could you leave a good review? No, you got to say, if you've read my book, could you please leave an honest review? It'd really make my day.
Okay.
And if you can kind of get it to where you have organic reviews dropping in consistent basis, that's just another way that it's going to kind of grease the wheels. Social proof is a really awesome tool, but also it helps with engagement on your product page, which helps out with the algorithm, to where it's like, oh, okay, it's going to serve that up to more people. And outside of that, really everything else looks really awesome. Okay. I don't know that I have any other tips outside of that. So do you have any kind of questions for me?
So what do you recommend for next steps? What do you usually do with people who you work with? So for this stuff, is this, if somebody's working with you, do you do this for them? Do you have them come back and rewrite everything and then show it to you to say, hey, did I get it right? How do people engage with you?
For me, obviously, you can get a hold of me at dale@selfpublishingwithdale.com if you ever have any kind of questions, concerns, and comments. For you, Evan, obviously, you've always been able to reach out with me, no issue. So I would say your best first steps are going to be fix your subtitle, fix your ad copy, those two things. The subtitle is going to be simple. You just go into your dashboard and fix it. The nice thing is you have it right on your Kindle edition. It's going to be a bit more problematic on your print edition. because an ISBN is attached to it. ISBNs are static. However, if you just kind of gently just nudge, KDP and say, hey, I just need you to capitalize these words and pull out that period, maybe they'll go ahead and do that. You want to have it to where it matches your Kindle version, because your Kindle version looks great. It's all titled perfectly. I'm not sure what happened on your CreateSpace version. So fix the ad copy. That's going to be the most important thing. Even if you don't touch your price, I'm totally cool with that. And the next step is, if you've got an email subscriber base, which I'm sure you do, reach out to them. Say, hey, if you picked up X, Y, or Z, it would really mean the world to me if you left an honest review for me.
I'm just looking if the price is actually on the book, but I don't think it is. So it's whatever we want it to be.
Yes.
Dale says it's $29. When I wrote it down, $95. New price.
New price. Yes. Everybody, I'm going to be lynched at the next Evan Carmichael meetup.
Right. I'll do a limited time offer next week. Still old price, and then the Dale pricing comes into effect.
That's actually a brilliant idea. Believe it or not, when you do get ready to increase the pricing of just about any type of product, let your following know about that price increase, because chances are likely they're going to probably like, oh man, I don't want to miss out on that. There is one last thing. I do notice you've got Kindle and paperback.
Okay.
Where's the audiobook?
This one was a little tough because it's a compilation of all the different people who. So it's Steve Jobs' rules and Oprah Winfrey's rules and my DJing of it, and then squishing them together. So I didn't want to read and be Oprah, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. I highly recommend
you an audiobook.
You give it a shot. Right now, okay. Here's a fun one. So we're going to go into here, and this right here is going to blow your mind. Where Kindle Direct Publishing, or as some people call it, Kindle Publishing, was really big and at its largest right around, say, 2013, 2014. It was the Kindle Gold Rush, as everybody called it. We're right now on the precipice of the audiobook boom. There's just going to be an explosion because people are consuming more and more audio content. And why audiobook? It's easier because you can multitask. Whenever I'm sitting here working on some stuff, some admin tasks, I'm listening to an audiobook or a podcast of some sort. When I'm working out, I'll listen to an audiobook. It's really just, it's going to behoove you to actually get this going, because this is going to make a difference. Yeah, it's going to feel a little weird. You don't need to make an Oprah voice when you're reading the Oprah. Just be genuine, authentic, be Evan. And as a worst case scenario, I know you're a super busy guy, so I'm not going to try to say that you need to do it. It is one of the best ideas to read your own books.
I would do it. No, I would do it. Like, I insisted on reading my first one, and if I would do it. And I really love that you put behoove into a sentence. That's amazing.
Yes, thank you. I've got other ones in the works, I'm sure. Sometimes I do that.
I feel like I need to have a banana sticker to give back.
That's it. We're just going to peel this up. No, actually, that cost me money. Okay, so let me show you just as an example here. We're going to go back into the screen share. I want to show you just how lucrative of an opportunity this is. Give me a good keyword related to your book.
Either success. Well, success. Rules for success is fine. Success is good.
Success. Okay, great. So we see the auto population here. We've got Success Principles by Jack Canfield. Success is Inevitable. Success and Luck. Success Hacks. Oh, I love Success Hacks. Let's just select that. All right. Not too bad. So we're looking at this. The search volume is about 864 product results in the Kindle store alone. If we were to go through and do it inside books, it might be a little bit different, possibly the same, but might as well just check it out anyway. All right, there's over 1,000 results under books alone. Crazy, right? So you're going into a gunfight with just your fists. You're going to need to actually get some really, really good sales in order to actually get first page placement and be heard above the noise. Okay. Let's just do this, for instance. We're going to go into audible.com. All right. And I'm going to go into its auto suggest here. And we're going to go ahead and hit Success Hacks. Oops. All right. It's not pulling up the auto search. That's not a problem though. Let's just look it up. 14 results. 14. That is insane. That's like going to a local meetup. Heck, I think there was more people in your room at the meetup that you had here in Columbus.
Yeah.
This is incredible, 14 results. So yours can immediately take over here. Just with the number of sales, you get that right there to where you're being relevant and then probably even get best selling.
Okay.
So this is why I tell people, let me just go ahead and further illustrate. Let's just, how about motivational?
Yep.
Motivational books.
Yep.
All right. So we've got motivational books, 60,000. Crazy, right? Motivational audiobooks. Look at that. That automatically pulls up. You see motivational books. All right. Let's see what the competition is. 27. 27 results. Mind you, Audible is an Amazon-owned company. And when you're uploading, say, your books, I always recommend Audiobook Creation Exchange, which is an Amazon-owned company. It aggregates out to Amazon, and it also aggregates over into Audible and iTunes. 3 very, very good places to have your audiobooks. So this is just showing you the opportunity that you have here. It is insane. And I would say that if you can work it into your schedule to actually get the narration done, it's going to be so worth it. And you're going to go and say, I actually had a coaching student one time that said to me, I could kiss you on the lips, although it was a little bit more vulgar. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Hold on. No, I think my wife will like object to that. But at any event, I had suggested to him, like, get your audiobook. I had the same conversation I had with you. And he was like, I don't know. And I'm like, just hire a narrator, get it going if you can't do it yourself. So he did it. And within 2 weeks, it actually had launched in the middle, I think, of October. And it was like in November-ish. He had sent me a screenshot of $3,000 on a single audiobook. And funny thing is, he actually had netted $6,000 because he did a 50-50 deal with the narrator. They took 50% of the profit. He took 50% of the profit. This is an incredible opportunity. And also, it's another asset that further cements the Evan Carmichael brand across the board. There are some people that just don't want to bother with the print book, and they don't want to bother with the ebook. But if you give them audiobook, they're going to eat that up.
All right. He's coming in hard on the audiobook. I got some work to do. Okay, well, I mean, my marching orders are pretty simple for the description and metadata stuff. Just got to do a little bit of work on that. The audiobook will take a little bit more time to put together properly. After that is what? Running ads on Amazon, on Google, on Facebook? What's the next step?
I would recommend, and this is what I tell everybody that's new to any type of advertising, especially within the self-publishing community, you're going to want to make sure you're going with Amazon advertising. You can actually work that within your KDP dashboard where it says promote and advertise. You click on it. It's fairly intuitive. I would recommend you start it out. And this is going to, you've run plenty of ads, I'm sure. And with ads, this is different. It's a whole different ball game. We can both agree. If you tell Google or if you tell Facebook, I want to do $10 per day as far as a budget, they'll eat it up and some.
Right.
Amazon's different. Amazon's way different. It's still relatively new. And if you keep your cost per click down fairly low, you'll find that sometimes you won't even meet your daily budget. There is times where I'll have, let's say, $1,000 per day ad budget. I'm lucky if it breaks $10 per day. I'm like, take my money, Amazon. I want you to take it. So Amazon advertising is definitely the way to go. And here's the nice thing is you're going to a warm audience. You're advertising to them. Whereas Google, you could probably, unless you're doing some retargeting and remarketing, or Facebook, they're not so warm, you know, they're kind of a cold audience. But Amazon, they're ready, willing, and able to part ways with their money to buy your publication. If you choose the right keywords and the right cost per click, you're going to see an incredible return on Amazon advertising. This is something that a lot of people, unfortunately, have misunderstood for a while. They think that, oh, I've got to spend $100 per day. Nah, you could literally put $1 per day. And if you keep your cost per click fairly low, you're going to see an incredible return.
And is that something then that you manage for people as well? to help them set up and run their ad campaigns?
I'd be happy to walk with you once when you get to that portion and such. I try to teach people this so that way they can be able to do it over on their own.
Got it. Well, okay, that's cool. Round 2 of the video, when I get all my work done on the other thing, for people who are looking at maybe hiring you or diving deeper into Dale's world, is this essentially the core of what you're doing to help people? Is figuring out how to fix their metadata, the description, get their book ranked? What would you say that people hire you mostly to do?
I'm the guy that shows indie authors how to do it very simply, how to build a larger author platform and reach a larger audience. I start with the people from the beginners all the way up to the advanced folks. There are some times where people are surprised when they watch some of my YouTube content and then they come back to me and do a coaching consult of some sort and they're like, oh my gosh, you don't even do most of this in your videos. I'm like, it's kind of hard. If I'm going to be sharing how to manage cost per clicks and, you know, daily budgets on Amazon advertising campaign, people are going to gloss over. They're going to deuce out. They're going to be like, I don't know so much about that. But that's pretty much, you know, I just show people how to do it. And I do work one-on-one coaching people through this.
Cool. And for anybody watching, what's the next best step? Is it email you? Is it check out your channel? Where do you want them to go? Dive into Dale's world.
There's a variety of avenues you can take a look at. First of all, you can reach out to me by email. I answer all my emails. I take a lot of pride in it. That's dale@selfpublishingwithdale.com. And if you just are like, let me just skip to the chase. I'm brand new to the business. I want to know where I need to start. Go over to DIYpublishing.biz/free, and you can actually get access to my free beginner's course. And this is a course that I've even had some veterans in this business that have taken it, and they go, I learned something. Are you sure that's beginner? That's the kind of value I like to deliver up front.
Cool, man. Well, we'll link that up in the description below. Really appreciate the time, man, and the advice, and looking forward to getting this book out there.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. Let me know how it goes.
Will do. Thanks, man.
If you want to learn how to hack Hollywood to grow your YouTube channel, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.